Well, hey, it's JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I want to talk to y'all real quick about life after lockup, love after lockup, whatever after lockup. So let us go ahead and get into this episode. First of all, we're going to start with Bianca and Daniel. So she says that she didn't mean to trigger him the other day. Y'all know he went out with his parents. She went to the bar with his cousin. They came back, Daniel and the parents, and they caught her drinking. Of course, Daniel was upset. The dad was upset and the mom was upset. Daniel was so upset once he got home that he decided he was going to sleep on the couch while Miss Girl went into the room and slept there. She also shrugged her shoulders and act like she didn't really give a damn. But the next morning, she wanted to try and go over there and wake him up so they could have a conversation about it. She says that she didn't mean to trigger him. Then she goes on to deflect and says he led her on. Okay. I just can't stand Bianca. I'm gonna say that a few more times. She really irritates me. I can't stand her nor her thin hair. It's so irritating. Okay, she deflects, flips the conversation, and talks about how he led her on when they were locked up because he had her thinking that they were going to get married. He was going to commit to her, and he has yet to do that. Okay, he feels like he made a decision. He feels like I'm sorry, made a bad decision. He says that he was an idiot once he asked her to, propose to him or whatever. So, because she was like, "Why did you ask me to marry you?" He said, "Because I was being an idiot." And I was like, "You sure were right, okay? You sure were right." And then he also told her, like, "Listen, I never told you I was gonna put a ring on your finger as soon as I came out. I never said that." And little did she know, he went and ended up getting a ring for her. But her actions at this time are not showing that she is deserving of it. So he's gonna hold off on that just a bit. And I think that he should, okay? She says she wants him to show that he cares by the little things, such as getting her coffee, okay? That's what pisses me off about her. She's a gaslighter, she's a manipulator. I feel like she's a narcissist in her own way. I don't like how she's moving at all. She is basically not wanting to be held accountable or to talk about what she's done wrong. She wants to talk about what you've done wrong. It's cringe worthy to watch, but it does give us conversation. But after this season, I would be okay never seeing Bianca and Daniel ever again. But because they are a train wreck waiting to happen, I know they're gonna continue to give us more of Bianca and Daniel. She is a brat and she's extremely entitled, and she is with a man that I feel she is absolutely disgusted by. Okay, I do not feel like she's interested in him, but she went and found somewhat of a low life in a sense, and I hate to call him that, but she went to find somebody that she felt would be desperate enough to give her the desires of her heart and have her get engaged and all of that so she could live this somewhat of a fairy tale life. She's a very much a weirdo. She's very much so a weirdo to me, okay? Daniel says he isn't going to do everything for her. She now asks him if that, or at least tells him that he's on a power trip or whatever. And I'm like, you're talking to this man about being on a power trip as if you're not already on one yourself. It's crazy. Okay. Then tells him he should do stuff just because he loves her. And I'm like, but he cooked you breakfast. So that wasn't him showing that he loved you. Like, girl, if you got to get up and walk 5 steps away to grab your coffee, like, it's okay. I do understand her wanting him to do that. Like, if that's something that she desires, like, hey, can you grab me a coffee? It really shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? For him to grab her a coffee. But I think he sees how she's trying to move with him and pushing him into the lane of being a do boy. And I think he's trying to draw the line just a little bit. Like, you want me to do everything for you just because you're financially taking care of me or whatever. But again, that is a decision that you chose to make and an offer that I'm gonna take you up on. Okay. But I'm not gonna just be at your beck and call. Like, you're gonna have to do some shit on your own too. And I kind of agree with him on that. Okay. He tells her that that she needs to walk on her own sometimes. I thought that was crazy. Knowing that she's going to throw it back in your face that you can't walk on anything because right now you're depending on her. You know she'd be ready to throw that up in his face. She needs a man that's going to be at her mercy. And to me, it's no different than a man that may have a lot of money that gets with a woman that's going to be at his mercy. Similar to what Corey Holcomb was talking about the other day. Not the exact same, but he was talking about he deals with women that are poor because basically they're more desperate, right? they're going to need him for more than a woman that got her own, okay, and a woman that values herself a bit more. And that's what she went and sought out, was a man that's not on her level, so that she can have that type of leverage over him, okay? So when they're talking, he ends up getting loud with her. And when he got loud with her, I said, here she goes. She finna focus on him being loud, therefore continuing to make herself a victim in this situation. And that's what she did, okay? She tells him not to get loud with her again, or this conversation will be over. Then she proceeds to say that this is the dumbest conversation ever. And I'm like, but you're the one that brought up the conversation about coffee. He's just letting you know that he's not gonna always get what it is that you want. And if it's not gonna kill you, it should be okay for you to get it yourself sometimes, right? So now the conversation is stupid because you're not hearing what it is that you want to hear. She tells him that they don't have to be together, and he's like, okay, so this is where we at. You escalated it to we don't have to be together because you're not getting your way. Okay. I'm like, Daniel, in so many ways, she's showing you who she is, and you deserve it. I mean, I can't. Bianca doesn't think he's respecting her boundaries, is what she says. He thinks that she should get her own drink. They end up moving on from this convo because she doesn't want to take any accountability from it. He says that he isn't her slave and doesn't want to be treated like such. Okay, and she says he isn't getting her. Like, you're not understanding me at this moment, so we really don't have to continue this conversation. If that's the case, you guys are not understanding each other. She then tries to deflect to a direction that's not necessarily helping her by speaking on healthy relationships and what should happen in a relationship, saying that she feels like when you're in a relationship, you should do things that is going to make the other person happy. And I'm like, you sure you want to use that argument? Because if that's the case, making him happy would have been him coming in and not seeing you indulging in a drink. Making him happy would have been you taking accountability for your SHI instead of shrugging your shoulders, acting like you don't give a damn, and then throwing it in his face that you know that's your problem, right? Okay? You're not ready for marriage at all. Okay? Then he tells her to not rely on him to make her happy, right? He says that's not going to work. Embarrassing. I don't think she should fully rely on him. I think she should expect at times for him to make her happy, but find your happiness in some other stuff too, girl. Bianca decides that no, they ended up ending the conversation that went nowhere. They kissed and nothing was really resolved. Nothing. They just moved on because she was tired of having the conversation because she's the only person that wants to be heard. She decides to give her bestie a call, asking him to come out and visit her and talk some sense into this man and stuff. She tells him about the argument and him catching her drinking and stuff. And again, she's continuing to come off as though it's not that big of a deal, okay? And how she feels like he doesn't understand where she's coming from, but you have yet to understand where he's coming from or his family. Daniel over there talking with his cousin, and he learns that Miss Bianca has been sharing their sex capades with the cousin and her dissatisfaction towards the sex as well. So of course he's bothered by that, wants to have a conversation with her now, and then also says that he's starting to see the red flags within her. Yeah, but it's not going to stop you from being with her because of how she provides for you. So you guys are both clowns, okay, at this point. Anywho, let's get to the other clowns, Kim and Joey. So she's wedding dress shopping, and she just enjoys playing house. Like, I do not understand what's happening up here with Miss Kim, but she decides to bring her cousin Tatum to go look at the dresses with her. And I really hate that Tatum. I hate this for Tatum because she appears to be a pretty nice person that, really loves her family, wants to support the family and stuff. So she's going to show up. But I feel like Kim is taking advantage a bit of Miss Tatum's kindness. And really, she only got you around, in my opinion, so she could continue to throw into your face that, boom, I got your boyfriend. I got your man. I got him. I had him then. Now I'm about to really get him now. And you're going to have to watch all of this. Like, if your cousin was so sensitive about how he was whistling at her when she came to y'all engagement party, then why would you invite her to come look at dresses with you? Like, I don't understand that. But then at the same time, Tatum, I don't support you either, because if you know it's so sensitive for you and he makes you feel uncomfortable and stuff, no matter how much you love your cousin, why are you constantly showing up? Why don't you draw the line at some point and have boundaries and say, I don't feel comfortable with that. So I can't. Kimberly says she feels bad and never wants to put Tatum in a position, as she was previously. And I'm like, well, then why do you keep asking her to come around? Why do you keep wanting to talk to her about a man that she's no longer with? You ain't got no other friends? Whew. So Kim says she always wanted to marry Joey, and I have yet to find out what it is about Joey that has everybody so entangled with him. What is it? The bad boy aesthetic or something like that? And then when he gives you the bad boy aesthetic of going over your payment limit, then you want to be upset. Nah, that's the man that you wanted, right? When he's over there talking to the ex-girlfriend and stuff, then you want to be upset. No, that's the man that you wanted. You knew what you were getting when you got him. Okay? Anywho, Kim tells Tatum that she has yet to divorce her last husband. Tatum's shocked, and she like, girl, what the hell we doing in this dress shop if you have yet to get a divorce from your last husband? Does Joey know about this? She was like, well, not really. Joey thinks that it's going to be final at any day now. No, ma'am. Tatum is telling her, like, girl, I think you need to have this conversation with him. And she's like, are you sure? Like, I should have it tonight. She's like, listen, I won't want to be thinking I'm going to marry somebody and they ain't got their stuff situated. So it's only right that you go ahead and let him know. Kim over there acting dumbfounded, talking about some, well, I thought that after a year, everything would have been done and resolved. That's how my last marriage went. My last divorce went. Kim, stop acting stupid, girl. I don't know what it is, but I'm questioning if you really do want a divorce from this husband yourself. Okay? What else? She talks about the DNA testing. All right. She's concerned about that because she doesn't know, one, how it's going to make her child feel to find out that Joey could be his actual dad. And then she doesn't know if it's going to affect her divorce at all. I'm sure it will. It just might affect your divorce. My question is whether you're receiving child support already for those kids. And that's your hesitancy on finding out about who his real dad is. Because if the real dad is Joey's, a person you're about to marry, is that about to cut off one of your checks or something? That's what I'm wondering. Okay? But good luck. Let's get to Teeny and Rob. So he has found a job after being turned down time after time again. He has found a job. He's inspecting trucks. Okay, but he did say that, listen, the money he's making on the outside is not as good as the money he would have been making on the inside when he was over there gambling and stuff. So Teeny pulls up on him at work. They have a sit down. He lets her know, listen, I like the job. It's cool, but it really ain't going to cut it financially. I want to get my CDL license. And in order for that to happen, I got to take some classes. And the class is going to run me about $5,500. So I know we used to me handling everything, but it's getting to a place where you're going to have to get a job. And although she appeared to be hesitant about it, Teeny said, you know what? I could get a job. I could do that. That's cool. I could do that. I don't think it's something she plans on having long term. But being that she likes nice things and stuff, Teeny gonna get a job. Now, Teeny said it could take her up to 2 weeks to get a job. And I'm like, well, Teeny, what the hell kind of business do you do that it's gonna take you 2 weeks? Because I feel like anybody that's really making money, in my opinion, some good money, it might take them a little longer than 2 weeks to get a job. So I do question what you're going to do for a job and to get money. And right now, I guess it ain't going to take, like anything is better than nothing for real, for real. So go get you something real quick. What else? Let's see. Teeny tells Rob once they get home about the $250 that she spent on a water park for the kids, and she's trying to make it make sense. Like, yo, if we were to take them to the arcades or do all of these different activities, then it could potentially cost us way more than $250. Okay, so I think the passes for now make sense. He's not happy about that because to him, they've already had a conversation that they were going to consult with each other before they go out and spend anything over $100. Okay, so that's where they're at. Of course, that's an issue. What else? She tells him she's gonna get a job. It ain't gonna take long, so don't worry about the $250. Then she talks about how if I got to get a job in 2 weeks, then you need to find you a tattoo artist and cover up that ugly tattoo of your ex within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I guess that's something they're both gonna work on. We're gonna see if Rob is actually gonna get that tattoo covered up. We'll have to see. Yeah, that's what they got going on. Let's get to Melissa and Louie. Of course, he's trying to propose to her. He does have the ring. He talks with her dad after kind of being worried about that. The dad does give him his blessing, and he feels like Louie may actually be a good guy. So we'll see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, you got Melissa getting irritated by him because he's working so many different jobs, and a lot of his clients call him throughout different times of the day. So now it got her security levels down a bit because she's questioning, like, who the hell calling your phone and what you got going on? Are you really doing work? You know what I'm saying? So she's bothered by that, and she's bothered by the fact that I believe he works at a pizza spot. So he's always bringing home pizza, and she tired of this damn pizza. And listen, I don't blame her. Girl, I'll be tired of that pizza too. You working all these damn jobs. We should be able to have a better meal or something at some point, child. Go get some groceries or something. Do a little piece of cooking here or there, honey. Why the hell we having pizza all I would get tired of that too. So I don't blame her at all on that. But he ended up getting a call. I think she threw a towel at him, upset about that. And then I think he threw the pizza on the floor. I said, bitch, I can't. Y'all got too much going on, okay? Let's get to Key Rock and old girl. What's her name? Britney, I think. So, they were staying in a government housing in a hotel, motel, whatever, but they decided they're going to go to a family friend and stay with that person in a cluttered ass space before they stay in government housing. Whatever floats your boat. Now, Key Rock is running through his savings to take care of him and Britney. This is money he had saved up, so when he makes this transition to Texas, it would be a bit easier for them. They go out to eat, and Britney is doing the finances to see how much they're spending out. She's starting to think, listen, money is getting low, and it's starting to make sense to me if you just go ahead and go to Texas. And if you go ahead and you go to Texas, then, I'll just stay behind, but at least you'll have a good job and you can start making money to send back to us. So let's work on that. Okay. Let's work on, you leaving. And Key Rock is just like, nah, like I'm not at that place where I'm ready to leave. Like, I don't want to leave you here. I want to stay. And she, is in disagreement or whatever. So they're having to figure that out. But Key Rock comes up with this idea and says, listen, your probation officer told you, or your parole officer, or whoever told you that all you need is your name on a lease. Well, I say we get married. How about we get married? And if I'm moving to Texas, they have no choice but to allow you to move to Texas, because you're going to have to be with a family member. And then I become one of the closest family members that you have because I am now married to you, right? In addition, your name will be on the lease at the house that I'll be at in Texas. So then they'll have no choice but to let you go to Texas, right? Now, granted, although I do understand that this is a gamble that they're going to be taking, I honestly don't think that it's a bad idea. Okay. I think the bad idea, in my opinion, was her going out looking for dresses once they agreed to get married and keep it between themselves, as they should. I think it was a bad idea for her to tell her friend and then to go on and call her probation officer too. Yes, it makes sense to call so you could be aware, but I feel like that's something you should already be aware of, that it could potentially not go in your favor. But if y'all love each other so much and you're going to still get married anyway, why not? Even if they tell you got to stay behind, it's not going to change our relationship. Y'all are still going to be together. So I don't see nothing wrong with just getting married to the person anyway. And then moving forward with a new application saying that you're married and your partner's out there, and you're going to be your partner's responsibility, because at this point your partner has done their time, done their crime, done their time, and they're no longer on papers. So, and they got a job and they've been doing good for oh so many months. So, I don't think that it's a bad idea, in my personal opinion. But the friend wanted her to do everything that's right. And, she reminded me of one of my closest friends from junior high school, girl. My son's godmama. I'll never forget. I wanted to fight this hoe on the bus. I'll never forget that. And and I told her I was going to beat this bitch ass, okay? I was going to whoop this hoe ass, okay? And she going to say, well, no, you can't fight her, because if you fight her, on the bus, you're going to get suspended off the bus, okay? And I didn't want to get suspended off the bus, and then my mama have to know that I was over there wagging and tagging on the damn bus, and now she got to take me to school or whatever like that, because my big brother, girl, he be on some other stuff, because I could ride to school with him, but I ain't like riding with him, because, girl, in the morning times and after school, he always had to go check on his dogs at my uncle's house, and I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to go to and from. I'm not trying to stop by way of, okay? But anywho, I was all in my head and I was like, damn, you right, I would get suspended off the bus. Oh no, then she also said I'll get suspended from school for fighting on the bus. And I found out a while after that was not true, okay? But and to this day, I feel a way that I didn't beat that bitch ass on the bus. And I be like, why the fuck did I take advice from you, ho? Okay, why did I get advice from you? You know what I'm saying? I should have wore that hoe out, and then, girl, it would have been what it was. Okay, I would not have got suspended. Now, see, that was the big thing. It wasn't a bus. It was more so the school. I didn't want to get suspended from school, but girl, I should not have listened to them up. Okay, at all. Do you hear me? But anywho, that's what her friend remind me of. Okay, you trying to do the right thing. I'm not trying to do the right thing right now, girl. I need you to be one of the devils on my shoulders, bitch. Don't be trying to tell me to call no probation officer and check on this and that, bitch. How about I do what I want to do and get permission later? Just a little piece, because they're not going to penalize you for getting married. They're not going to penalize, oh, you should not have gotten married. You can't get married. I don't think they're going to do that, but it could be a situation that could hold you up from going to Texas. But shit, you already held up anyway. And whether you married or not married, it still ain't no guarantee they're going to let you go anyway. So if you want to get married to them, get married to them and just see what the hell going to happen. Like, it is what it is. You should call your probation officer. Girl, shut up. If you just don't want your friend to get married and going away, then just say that. Okay, so I didn't really like the advice from the friend, but whatever. So let's get to Justine and his man-child, Michael. So they go to the lawyer's office, of course, to talk about a will. And she says that she will do the blood transfusions and the other things that it may take for her to save her life. But if there is no quality of life there, then leave her. Let her go. She does not want to stay in that state. So Michael is like, well, what do I tell the kids? How do I tell the kids and stuff like that? You know, I don't think that's considerate. She's like, hey, do you think it's considerate for my kids to see me in that state? I wouldn't want them to see me like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like I'm being a mom. You're just housing a body at this point to make yourself feel better. And I don't think that's right? That's how she's feeling. So she says if something happens to her, when it comes down to the kids, she would want her children to go to her daughter. He gets upset and storms out. And then he wants to talk about the kids being separated. You're supposed to keep a family together. You're not supposed to divide them and stuff. And I'm like, but sir, if something happens to her and whether she wants those kids with you or not, and their dads who have rights to them come in and say they want their kids, they gonna get split up any fucking way. They gonna get split up anyway. So who the hell and what the hell do you think you doing? Okay? I cannot stand him and his little boy emotions. He acts like a fucking kid for him to have so many of them. All right? So irritating. But I do like the fact that she continued to sit there and have her meeting with her lawyer and let his ass have his tantrum outside and do what he want to do. Okay? Because it ain't changing over here. Feel how you want to feel. He also feels like her daughter is a child and that her daughter should not get the kids. And I understand that. The daughter even feels the same way. But again, at the end of the day, if their dads wanted them, it's nothing you gonna really be able to do about it, in my opinion. They're not your biological kids. All right? Also, you don't even know how to handle her sons. So I think that she's making the right call by giving them to somebody else other than you. Okay, unless you get the proper therapy or something that you need, because it's not going to be patient, especially if you're going to be yelling at her child more than you yell at your own child. That boy going to be getting done all kind of down bad because your ass can't handle it. And then you stressing the hell out and you got a helpmate. So if you ain't got her and you got all them kids, you really going to be stressing the hell out. And all that punching the holes in the walls, you're going to start taking it out on her kids because you're not living the life that you feel you should be living because of your own fucking mistakes. No, sir. Okay? I think she's making the right decision. Now, the attorney did suggest that they could do like a co-guardianship, where he can have some, authority or whatever, as well as her daughter. So that's something that she's on the fence about, and they will have to see at the end of the day. I don't think she's making the wrong call when it comes to her kids and stuff and who they may go to. But I feel like these are things you should have waited around for and paid attention to see how he was going to show up and respond to your children, in all honesty, before you decided to mesh up your life so much with his and get married to him. Okay? And it kills me when you talk so much about a mom and how much you'll give for your kids and this and that. But I feel like some of the adult decisions that you've made as a mother, you didn't even consider your kids and how they would feel about this. Like, I don't like it. But anywho, y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. Anywho, cause y'all stupid. But that's all that I got on love life after lockup. Okay, you guys leave your thoughts and comments down below regarding the latest episode. I'm Jami, that's me. Follow me on social media, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit on my almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing a stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.